Hello BookTube, my name is Juan. I am just one reader. I am here with another Friday Reads video to update you on what I am currently reading, what I finished reading, and what I will be reading this week. This week has actually been really great. It's actually been, I think, the best reading week of the year for me. I finished 3 books, which is a lot for me, and I am almost done with the book that I'm currently reading, and there are just many things that I need to discuss with you, so bear with me. And let's start. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. The first book that I finished reading this week was More Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by Jen Campbell, our very own and very beloved Jen Campbell from BookTube. She has written many books. I have read the Bookshop book by her and the original Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops, and I just love Jen Campbell. And this one was just as delightful as the original one. This is a collection of things that people unbelievably have said to booksellers, and it's just delightful, it's charming, it's fun, it's laugh out loud funny. It also makes you think about humanity and the people who go to bookshops, and some people in here are so rude, some people are clearly mentally unstable, many of them have schizoid personality disorders, in my opinion. And some of them are just hysterical, and some of them are also really, some of the anecdotes in here are also very warm and tender, and they give you hope in humanity and hope in books and bookselling and, you know, the physical object of a book. So I really enjoyed this. It's just more of the same from the previous book. So what's not to love? I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It was really great. Then I read what I consider to be, as of right now, my favorite book of the year, or at least my favorite nonfiction book of the year, and that is Razzle, Dazzle, The Battle for Broadway by Michael Riedel. I posted an individual book review for this, so if you want to know more about it, go and check that out. But essentially, this book is exactly my kind of thing. You know, it's what I was looking for. It is about so many different things. It's about Broadway. It's about the Schubert organization and how they saved Broadway in the 1970s with a chorus line and some other shows like Cats. Midnight, not a sound from the pavement, and the Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, etc. And how the Schuberts and some other people in the theater business really boosted the economy of Broadway, and in so doing, they really helped the economy of the city and saved it from bankruptcy and corruption. This book is hilarious, it's gossipy, it's dishy, it's so interesting, it's so well researched. The investigative journalism is so on point here. Michael Riedel did an amazing job, in my opinion, of investigating and reporting the facts, but also giving it a spin. So there's like a tone that he uses throughout the book that I thought was just fascinating. It's a book that provides you with interesting fun facts about the theater and these people and this industry. It also has a warmth to it. It also deals with the biographies of some people who are very important in the theater world, like Michael Bennett or Andrew Lloyd Webber, Cameron Mackintosh, all of these people whose work we really know and we're still talking about today. So this book was excellent. It was thrilling, it was sharp, it was incisive, and I really loved it. It's 5 stars, 5 out of 5 for me. It was just wonderful. And then the other book that I finished reading this week, which I read in like a couple of sittings, it was really, really readable, even though I don't think it's one of the best things that I've read. I definitely think it's worth reading and worth reading for the discussion, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. And look, this is a book that everybody was talking about and still are talking about. It's a very hyped book. It was like the book of the year, and it was a book that everybody was championing. So of course, naturally, I was feeling a little bit like, do I really want to read that book? But eventually I did, and I liked it more than I thought I would. I don't think it's like one of the best books I've read or anything like that. I think it's an interesting discussion of some topics that are very important, like class and politics and relationships. It really is a romantic novel, or I guess I would say this is a contemporary novel that really plays around and subverts romantic tropes, and also YA tropes. What I really liked about this book was the writing itself. I think the book is really well written. I really appreciated Sally Rooney's delivery of these characters, like the way that they are portrayed and the way that she interweaves dialogue scenes, very dialogue driven scenes, with backstory, and the way that she crafted everything in the novel to make it look very organic and very seamless and very easy to read. But she's really delivering a lot. And this is a very short book, and she manages to give so much information about this couple. I should say this book is about a couple, Marianne and Connell, in Ireland, and we just follow them throughout a couple of years and see their relationship unfold. And I really liked the way that she gave us, the readers, a picture of this relationship throughout the years, and you can see that she selected very well the scenes and the dialogue so that we could get a bigger picture, just by reading those chunks of information. Now, I really appreciated this book in terms of the writing and the structure. I think it's a very sophisticated novel in that regard. I think it's really well done. However, the content itself, the material itself, I wasn't really impressed by. I thought it was fine. I thought it was sort of a stereotypical thing. I mean, this is a couple, two people who are in some ways incredibly pathological and incredibly disturbed. But at the same time, you could make an argument that they are pretty normal people. Hence the title. And I really like that. I really like the play between, normalcy and abnormalcy. These people are very disturbed, especially Marianne. She felt like a very stereotypical character in my opinion, but I liked the way that Sally Rooney played with these ideas, because these characters at times felt to me incredibly pathological, but at the same time they felt quite normal, which I don't know what that says about people nowadays. Are people more pathological now? Are we dealing with new psychopathology in this moment in time? I would say that yes, we are. Connell is, I'm talking from a psychodynamic viewpoint, of course, which is my thing. I would say that Connell represents a narcissistic depression kind of thing, whereas Marianne is very much a borderline personality type, sort of, with some other issues. And they are pretty severely disturbed. I mean, these are pathological characters, and they deal with psychopathology that is now pretty common and pretty frequent, and that's normal people today. So I think there's an interesting discussion to be had around this book with the topic of psychopathology and normalcy and all of these things. So there are many things that I enjoyed in this book, but there was also something that I felt lacking, something that just didn't quite do it for me. I was expecting to be more impressed by something, and I didn't. So I gave this book 3.5 stars. It was almost a 4-star book, but there was just, I needed something extra. But I think it's a good book. It's a book that I would recommend so that people can think and have a conversation around it. Also, I think Freud would love this book, because this book is a living testament, evidence of the Oedipus complex. This book is about the Oedipus complex in the 21st century. It's not what people normally think about when they think of the Oedipus complex, you know, the thing that people who haven't really studied psychoanalysis think of as the Oedipus complex, you know, like, oh, your mom jokes, you know, like, you know, this kind of silly idea of, like, your mama kind of jokes, you know. That's not really the Oedipus complex from a professional, serious psychoanalytical viewpoint. The Oedipus complex, from a real, serious, professional, clinical, psychoanalytical viewpoint, is what is described in this book. You know, this feeling of not being able to satisfy your desire, feeling that your desire is always unsatisfied. And the issues that Marianne and Connell have are very much a direct result of the Oedipus complex, or the Oedipus construction, I would say. So this book is interesting. As you can see, I am talking a lot more about this book than I did about the previous 2 books that I finished, and that's because there's many things to unpack in this novel. Like I said, it's a complex novel disguised as a simple novel. It is quite sophisticated, and still I felt like I needed something extra to give it 4 stars, but I would recommend it. And so those are the 3 books that I finished reading, and now I am currently reading The Language of Dying by Sarah Pimbrough. This is a very short little novella. It's like 120 pages or so, and it's about this woman whose father is dying, and that's pretty much what it is about. We are in her inner monologue, and we see what she's thinking and what she's going through. We also get some backstory about her, about the family dynamic. I am very close to finishing this book, and I would say it's fine. There's nothing to write home about yet. I am not surprised. I am not impressed. But at the same time, there are some interesting ideas in here. I do think that the writing is a little bit melodramatic and a little bit manipulative, but overall it's like a 3-star book. And then I also started David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Whew, okay, this is going to be a project. This is going to be a reading project for the long run, because this book is long. It's a beautiful Everyman's Library edition. Beautiful, beautiful book. And it's long. It's like 900 pages, and it's Dickens. I've never read Dickens before, not really. And I just started the first chapter. I read the first chapter, and I loved it. I really loved it. But there's something in the writing that makes it quite time-consuming. So I think I will take this in very small doses, sort of spread it out over, I don't know, a month or maybe longer. So I will just read maybe a chapter a day or something like that. But yeah, this is very promising. And I also want to start reading another novel alongside David Copperfield. And I think I will read A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This is like a thriller, horror, possession story, but it's about many different things. It's about this family who have a daughter who is having some sort of schizophrenic outbursts, but they can't provide treatment for her, so they decide they are going to participate in a kind of TV show, like a reality TV show that is going to bring an exorcist to the house. And so they're going to treat this case of apparent schizophrenia as a possession. And so they're going to televise the possession, and it's about that. It's about the family dynamic. It's about the TV show that they make out of these possession. I've heard nothing but great things about this book. It sounds really fun, and it's what I want right now. A possession TV reality show novel. So I will be reading that, and that's it. That's my Friday reads for this week. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next video. I look forward to your comments down below.